Today's topic is Constitution of Criminal Court and the hierarchy. First of all, I would like to explain what are the classes of the criminal courts. Section 6 of the Criminal Procedure Code talks about the classes of criminal courts. There are four criminal courts which can be established under the Criminal Procedure Code by the state government. First is Court of Session. Second is Judicial Magistrate, Court of Judicial Magistrates, first class, and in metropolitan areas, Metropolitan Magistrates. Third one is Judicial Magistrate of the second class, and fourth is Executive Magistrate. So there are four type of criminal courts, four classes of the criminal courts under section 6 of the Criminal Procedure Code. Next is what is the territorial division of the judicial system in India. Section 7 is section 7 talks about the territorial division. Every state shall be a session division or shall consist of session divisions, and every session division shall for the purpose of this code be a district or consist of districts, provided that every metropolitan area shall for the said purpose be a separate session division and a district. So for each session there will be a session court of session. The state government with the consultation of the High Court may changes the areas of the session division. State government may, after the consultation of the High Court, may also divides the districts into subdivisions, and state government is also authorized to alter the territorial area or limitation of the subdivisions in a district. The session division, districts and subdivisions existing in a state at the commencement of this code are deemed to have been formed under this section. Next is metropolitan areas. Metropolitan areas, section 8. Under section 8, the state government may by notification declare that as from such date as may be specified in the notification, any area in the state comprising a city or town whose population exceeds 1 million shall be a metropolitan area for the purpose of this code. As from the commencement of this code, each presidency towns such as Bombay, Calcutta, Madras and the city of Ahmedabad shall be deemed to be declared metropolitan areas under subsection 1 of section 8. State government may by the notification extend, reduce or alter the limits of the metropolitan areas, but the state cannot reduces the limits of the metropolitan areas in such a way by which the population of that area become less than 1 million. So it is mandatory that population of the metropolitan area must be more than 1 million. If the population of a metropolitan area become less than 1 million due to any reason, then the status of the metropolitan area will be ceased by the state government by notification from such date. Next is section 9, which talks about the establishment of the court of session. Court of session has to be established under section 9 of the Criminal Procedure Code, and state government is authorized to establish a court of session for each session division, and every court of session shall be presided over by a judge, and presiding officer of the court of session shall be appointed by the High Court, and he will be designated as session judge. High Court may also appoint additional session judges and assistant session judges to exercise their jurisdiction in a court of session. So there are three type of judges has to be appointed in the court of session. First is session judge, second is additional session judges, and third assistant session judges as per the need of the particular session division. The session judge of one session division may be appointed by the High Court to be also an additional session judge of another division, and in such case he may sit for the disposal of cases at such place or places in other division as the High Court may give directions. Where the office of the session judge is vacant, the High Court may make arrangement for the disposal of any urgent application which is or may be made or pending before such court of session by an additional or assistant session judge, or if there is no additional or assistant session judge, by a chief judicial magistrate in the sessions division, and every such judge or the magistrate shall have jurisdiction to deal with any such application. Next is subordination of the assistant session judges, which is given under section 10 of the Criminal Procedure Code. All the assistant session judge of the court of session are subordinate to the session judge, and session judge may make the rule for the distribution of the business among the assistant session judges who are appointed in the court of session by the High Court. Additional session judge are not the subordinate to the session judge. They have equal judicial power to the session judge. Therefore, only assistant session judge are the subordinate to the session judge, but assistant session judge is not subordinate to the additional session judge. Assistant session judges are subordinate to the session judge only. The session judge may also make provision for the disposal of any urgent matter in case of his inability to act as a session judge by an additional session judge or additional assistant session judge. If there is no additional session judge or assistant session judge available, then the session judge may also make the provision for the disposal of urgent matters by the chief judicial magistrate, and every such judge or magistrate shall be deemed to have jurisdiction to deal with any such applications. Court of Judicial Magistrates is given under section 11. In every district there shall be established as many courts of judicial magistrate of the first class and of the second class, and at such places as the state government may, after consultation with the High Court by the notification, specify. The presiding officer of such court shall be appointed by the High Court. The High Court may, whenever it appears to it to be expedient or necessary, confer the power of a judicial magistrate of the first class or of the second class on any member of the judicial service of the state functioning as a judge in a civil court. Section 12 related to the chief judicial magistrate and additional chief judicial magistrate in a district. In every district, the High Court shall appoint a judicial magistrate of the first class to be the chief judicial magistrate, and High Court may also appoint any judicial magistrate of the first class to be an additional chief judicial magistrate. Therefore, in each district there will be one chief judicial magistrate of the district and other additional chief judicial magistrates as required in the districts. The High Court may designate any judicial magistrate of the first class in any subdivision as the subdivisional judicial magistrate and relieve him of the responsibilities specified in this section as occasion requires. A special judicial magistrate, section 13. The High Court may, if requested by the central or state government so to do, confer upon any person who holds or has held any post under the government all or any of the powers conferred or conferable by or under this code on a judicial magistrate of the second class in respect to a particular case or to particular classes of cases or to cases generally in a district not being a metropolitan area. Such magistrates shall be called a special judicial magistrate and they will be appointed for 1 year only. A subordination of the judicial magistrate. All the judicial magistrate of the first class and second class of a district are subordinate to the chief judicial magistrate and session judge of the session division also. Court of the Metropolitan Magistrate are established under section 16 of the Criminal Procedure Code, and the presiding officer of the Metropolitan Court of Metropolitan Magistrate is appointed by the High Court, and there will be chief Metropolitan Magistrate and additional Metropolitan Magistrates in every metropolitan areas. Presiding officers of such courts shall be appointed by the High Court. The jurisdiction and powers of every metropolitan magistrate shall extend throughout the metropolitan areas. Chief Metropolitan Magistrate and additional Chief Metropolitan Magistrates may also be appointed in metropolitan areas by the High Court to exercise their powers, and there is a provision under section 18 to appoint the special metropolitan magistrates if to trial the particular cases or particular class of cases. A special metropolitan magistrate will also be appointed only for 1 year by the High Court. Chief Metropolitan Magistrate in every additional subordination of Metropolitan Magistrate in every metropolitan areas. Additional Chief Metropolitan Magistrate will be subordinate to the session judge, and Metropolitan Magistrate are subordinate to the Chief Metropolitan Magistrate, and Chief Metropolitan Magistrate is subordinate to the session judge in the metropolitan areas. So this is the process for the formation of the criminal courts under the Criminal Procedure Code in India. Thank you for today.